Hey guys, so today's video is going to be all about eyebrows. Eyebrows are such a huge trend this year. They're all over Instagram, and I feel like every makeup artist is just obsessed with eyebrows because they really are that one thing that really shapes a person's face and finishes off a makeup look. If you don't have your brows filled in, I feel like it just looks like something's missing with your makeup. I know that's at least the case with me. I have super sparse eyebrows, which you will see in a few minutes. You will see my natural brow without any product on them, which I'm a little scared because they are very sparse. And I get them to look like this by filling them in. And if you have sparse brows, if you have bald spots, fine hair, you've overplucked your brows, these tips will really help you out, and hopefully you can do these on yourself to make your brows look, realistic and look like you have a lot of hair when you may not. And even if you were blessed with like really nice thick brows, which I'm jealous if you were, you can still take some tips away from this video because I feel like anyone can use these no matter what your brows look like, just because I don't know, brows are just so important when it comes to makeup, like I said, and anyone can really use some makeup to fill them in to make them look even better than they did before. So yeah, I know I'm wearing a lot of makeup in this video, but it's really just to show the drastic difference of what it looks like with brows filled in and when I don't. There's a really big difference. And I'm also just wearing a lot of makeup just because I felt like it. Makeup's supposed to be fun and comes right off, and I just feel like wearing purple lips and a cut crease today, so I did. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you learned something, and stay tuned for the video. Bye. Okay, so before I get on to the step-by-step tutorial on how to fill your eyebrows in, I wanted to show what I look like without them filled in and a full face of makeup. Granted, this is a lot of makeup, but I just kind of wanted to make a point and show how important filling your eyebrows in really is. It's kind of hard for me because this is like my biggest insecurity. People compliment me on my eyebrows all the time when I have them filled in, because I've kind of gotten it mastered a little bit. So yeah, the secret's out. I really have horrible eyebrows, and I know I'm not the only girl out there that has horrible eyebrows. I just wanted to show what they look like against all this makeup without them being filled in. Granted, there is some foundation on top of them, so they look even lighter. But yeah, they're really sparse. I have a decent shape to work with. It's really just the coloring and the amount of hair that I have. I just have very sparse hair in the front. Most people get sparse hair in the ends of their brows from over plucking or over waxing, but for some reason the hair in the front of my brows is really fine. Like literally it falls out all the time. I just have super fine hairs, and I have a lot of bald spots. So yeah, now you kind of see what I look like without my eyebrows filled in, and you see why I fill them in the way I do. Yeah, let's get on to like the step-by-step tutorial. Okay, so the first step in filling your eyebrows in is you're going to want to comb them out with a spoolie. You can get these anywhere, and this is going to just kind of comb through the hairs if they're misplaced or anything like that. I like to comb the front of the hairs up, like so, and then once I get to the middle to end, I like to comb them going in the right direction. Okay, so the next step is using some sort of wax. I use this NYX eyebrow shaper, and what this does is it just keeps the hairs in place. I really only use it towards the ends of the brows, so I'm only going to put it on the end of my eyebrow. I'm not going to put it in the front. Before I get into actually filling them in, I want to just talk about a few tips and tricks on filling them in. Okay, so the first thing is a lot of people say that you're supposed to put the pencils on the edge of your nose and point up, and that's where your eyebrow is going to start. But to be honest, that's just like not a very good tip because everyone has different widths to their nose. They can have a really thin nose and then their eyebrows are going to be starting here, or they can have a really wide nose and their eyebrows could be starting there. So that's really not the best tip to go by. Really, it's just about what looks good. Like, you will know if your eyebrows are too close together or too far apart. But I guess they are supposed to start just like about where your tear duct is, maybe a little bit further than your tear duct, but about there. You will know, though, like I said, on what looks right and what doesn't. The next step is then to take your pencil or whatever you're using and tilt it away from the nose to where you will get to the center of your eye. I guess that's your iris, and it'll be like in the middle of your eyelid. And if you were going to put a little mark, that's where your arch should start. And then as for the ends of your brows, they're really just supposed to be like where your the edge of your eyelid ends. So like if you were to just draw a straight line up, it should end like about here. To be honest, I don't go all the way down though. But those are like some basic guides if you need just kind of a guide on where to start if you're just starting to fill in your brow. Now, my favorite brow product, my favorite brow product has to be the Anastasia Brow Wiz. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. She is like the queen of brows in Sephora and Ulta. You can't find them at the drugstore. It's really only Sephora and Ulta and on her website. But her brow products are absolutely amazing. I use her Brow Wiz in soft brown, but I'm all out. It clicks now when I try and get it up, which really sucks because this is my favorite product. But I do have other products of hers that I'm going to be using that are also favorites of mine. So it's not the end of the world that I ran out. I just have to get a new one. But yeah, if you are looking for a good brow pencil, definitely recommend this one. And it comes with a little spoolie at the end. So today, since I ran out of all that, I am going to be using her Anastasia Dip Brow. It looks like this. It's in a little jar. They come in a million shades, and it's a brow pomade, so it's like a little waxy gel. It looks like gel liner. If you're looking for a cheaper alternative, you can check out Elf gel liner in brown. It kind of has the same consistency, and it's very similar in color. This is in the color medium brown. So if you don't want to spend the money on the dip brow, you can check out that. And also I want to mention her brow powder, which is a brow duo in soft brown. They have other shades in this as well. And basically it's just a powder. You use this towards the lighter shade towards the front of the brow and the darker shade at the end of the brow. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this today. I will see. Depends. Sometimes I will use it. Sometimes I won't. But today, right now I'm going to be using the brow pomade. So you're going to need an angled brush. She sells one, Anastasia, but this one is from Elf. I really like this brush. So you're going to dip the brush into the pomade and kind of use the cap to get off any excess. Okay, and now we're going to start. You don't want to use a lot of this. Like a little bit of this goes a long way. So I like to start at the front of my brow and kind of draw a line where that hair really would be, except I don't have hair there. So I just follow the line starting here and then draw down. So I'm going to draw this line across my whole brow, more so the bottom of the brow. And take your time with this, don't rush. Okay? And now I'm going to take my brush and kind of flick that line up with very little pressure. This is going to blend that line out so it's not so super harsh. Okay? Now dip your brush, I can't talk today, brush into the brow pomade and go on the top of the brow, and you're just going to want to draw on the top, make a crisp line, and start focusing on that arch area. Now I'm connecting it with the edge of the brow, or the end, just because. But yeah, you will find it's going to take some time to kind of get like a specific style down pat and for your brows to always look the same. I switch them up just because I like switching up the shape. But yeah, today I'm going to go with, I guess, a pretty defined arch. Sorry if I'm like out of the camera. And then work on that edge. Okay, and now I'm working towards the front of the brow. You don't want to put a ton of product in front. It's really important to have that gradient. See how it's really light and then it gets darker? That's kind of what you are looking for. So now I just take any of the leftover product and I just blend up like this. That's really it. I don't do anything special towards the front of the brow. It's really just about making it look as natural as possible. And I make sure that these hairs are flipped up. That is what I'm going to do so far. Sometimes I will go back in and carve them out even more, but I hope you kind of get a gist. It's really just about creating that line, taking it all the way through the bottom of the brow. Once you've done that, then taking that line and making it on the top of the brow, forming your arch. And then you go in with the leftover product and blend both lines inward to get the product on the inside of the brow. You don't want to continuously keep dipping your brush in the product because then it's going to create just really dark and fake looking brows. It's just about feathering the product and blending it into the hair and the skin. And then the front of the brow, just always use like whatever's left on your brush. Don't go dipping back into the pomade when you get to the front because then it's going to look really harsh and that's going to make it look unnatural. Filling your brows in is supposed to look as natural as possible. So now I'm just going to take my concealer, or foundation rather. Today I'm using my Graftopian foundation palette that I use in my freelance kit, and I'm going to carve my brows out. This is so important. This is what's going to make them look crisp, defined, give them an actual shape. And if you have sparse brows, I really recommend not skipping this step because it makes the biggest difference. But the biggest mistake people make is carving out the top as well. Do not touch the top. The top is not supposed to be super clean and just like straight lines. It's supposed to be kind of feathered out. You only want to touch the bottom of your brow. That's kind of what's supposed to be defined. So I'm going to take a pretty light color with a concealer brush. And I am going to get right underneath that brow, like so. And I'm just going to kind of start carving that brow out. You want to focus a lot of the product on the arch and make sure that is really crisp and clean. And then take the leftover product and feather it in towards the front and kind of get that straight line in the front as well, and then just blend out. And you will find sometimes you'll get like some concealer here. Just blend that out with your finger. Okay, so I just got cut off. Hopefully it didn't take off too much footage, but basically what I was doing, I was just carving out the bottom of my brow with concealer to really make a defined nice brow. And as you can see, like, my brows don't look fake. They just look like I have nice groomed brows. So that carving out step is pretty important, but the last step is to take a brow gel. Anastasia does sell a brow gel. This is hers, but I like this one by LA Splash actually better because it is a colored brow gel. And if you have sparse brows, a colored brow gel is just going to give you more of that illusion of having hair, and it's going to grab onto those hairs and just make them look more real. So I take this brow gel. It does have a lot of product that comes off in the brush, so I just kind of take the excess off on my hand And what I do with this is, well, what the point of this is to make your hair stay in place. So this is going to make sure that the brows don't move throughout the day or anything like that. So now I'm just going to take this and put it at the front of my brows, brushing up. I like to brush the front of my hairs up, just, I don't know, it makes them look more natural. So I take those hairs, brush them up, and then take the rest of the hairs and brush them to the side. And this is going to hold them in place, like I said, and kind of give the hairs texture, so they stand out from the other products that you put on them. So just, yeah, so that's pretty much it. My brows are now finished. I did fill in this brow. Actually, I have to put gel on this brow. I know MAC sells brow gels. You can find them at the drugstore. Anastasia does. They're not that hard to find. And there are colored gels and non-colored gels. Okay, so now my brows are filled in and my makeup is finally complete. As you can see, it just makes a huge difference from the clip that I had before when I first started filling them in. It just looks so much better and my face looks more framed and all of that. So I hope this video was helpful for those of you that maybe are just learning to fill your eyebrows in, or if you've been struggling with having very sparse brows. This hopefully gave you some tips and tricks that you can use on yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for more videos. I will be uploading more soon. And subscribe, like, and share. That would really help me out. Yeah, have a good day, guys. Bye.